Hello. Okay, so I wanted to make a video about the 10 things that I have learned from doing tarot readings in the past month. I've only picked it up about a month ago, and I feel so confident in my readings. So I want to share why I feel so confident in the 10 things that I have learned so that you can too feel confident giving tarot readings 1 month into providing them. So, my first tip is pretty like an obvious one, but I think it's really important, and that is to trust your intuition. So the reason why I found this very important to point out is because when I first gave my tarot reading, first let me show you the deck that I bought. So I bought this deck, the Mystic Mondays, and they're just the most beautiful cards. They're holographic. They're so pretty, the colors on them. And I just felt super drawn to them. So I purchased this deck, like I said, about a month and a half ago maybe. And my friend came over and I was like, hey, do you want a tarot reading? And she was like, yeah. And mind you, I hadn't seen her in a couple months because we were quarantined. I live in Los Angeles. So I had no idea like what was going on with her. We hadn't caught up yet. I just like immediately was like, do you want a tarot reading? And I just like intuitively knew how to give a tarot reading, even though I'd never given one before, and I didn't even know how. I didn't watch videos, I didn't read my books or anything. Like I only had this deck and the booklet that came inside of it, and I just like intuitively knew how to give a reading. It was like the words just spewed out of my mouth. Like I could feel the energy in the air, and it was like my first reading the energy that I felt in my first reading doesn't compare to the energy that I felt in my other readings. Like in my first reading, the energy was like, it was like crazy. Like it was like my spirit guides are like, finally you're doing what you should be doing, giving readings. I don't know, but yeah, so like I just like, the only thing that I did know was to put it in past, present, future. But yeah, so then I took out the cards, I put them past, present, future, I read the booklet, and I really just had to glance at the booklet. It was like I already knew what to say to her. And after the reading, I was like, so, like, how was it? And she was like, you just pinpointed, like, everything that I was just talking about with another friend. And I was like, that's super cool. So, yeah, just, like, oh, again, another thing is that the third card in her reading was reversed, and it's like intuitively I was like, I am not going to leave her with a blockage, a reversed card. So I pulled another card and had it upright, and I just did that so that I just knew that I needed to pull another card so that she could know that like where she was positively headed, that if she got over that hurdle, then she would be in a good place. So yeah, that's my first tip to you. Just trust your intuition. Like if you are meant to be giving tarot readings, then it will come so naturally to you. And if you're not, like, there are ways that you can strengthen your psychic abilities in order to give confident readings as well. All right, so number 2. I do use reversals. I think that they are very helpful. I think that reversals are necessary. I know that a lot of intuitive readers do not use reversals, but in my personal opinion, I think that it's a good thing to know what might be blocking you. So I look at every reversal card as a blockage card. Hopefully you don't hear the people next door who are working on their house. But I look at every reversal card as a blockage card. So let's say that someone has the 3 of Pentacles as their present, and then the 9 of Cups reversed, and then the Knight of Pentacles as their future. I will look at this reading and I'll say, okay, so this is the 3 of Pentacles, this is where your past is, and something's blocking you from getting to your future, and that would be the Knight of Pentacles, whatever this card represents, that is blocking them from being successful and reaching their goal. I think that that it's so important. Sometimes I'll even pull, like I said, a third card, and then the third card will be reversed. So I'll pull the Three of Pentacles. This is the past, the Knight of Pentacles as the present, and then the Nine of Cups. I kind of lump this into the present. If it's the third card as a reversal, I'm like, all right, so you're kind of like, you're feeling good, but there's something blocking you still from reaching the King of Wands, right? The last card, I'll always just flip it up, right side up. It will not be reversed. So yeah, like, I think reversals are great, just because it's good to know like what's stopping you from reaching your biggest goal. And I know that sometimes the upright cards are all not necessarily positive cards. Sometimes those in themselves can have some negative like connotations, like the Devil, for example, which is like a card that represents addiction and temptation. But I still use reversal cards. I think that they are necessary. They're in the deck for a reason, and I think that we should use them. Okay, so I had to get the noise away and close my door. Alright, so anyway, yeah, like I was saying, reversals are okay to use, in my opinion. I think that they're great tools for self-development, and they're really, like, telling you what is stopping you from reaching your goals. So, I like to use reversals. Alright, so my third, tip, the thing that I've learned, is to look at the pictures. And I know that sounds super, like, obviously you should look at the pictures. When I was giving readings, when I first started giving readings, I was just kind of like using my intuition and using the words to give readings, but I wasn't necessarily looking at the pictures until I had done one of my friend's readings, and she was like, oh, well, that one looks like, I think it was like the Ten of Swords, and she was like, well, that one doesn't look very good because it has swords like facing this person's back, right? And I was like, you're right. Like, why am I not looking at the pictures? So I wish I could show you that one, but my deck is so shuffled right now that, hold on, maybe I can find it. So yeah, I wasn't looking at the pictures, and, I realized after doing her reading that I need to be, because it's kind of a way of like using my intuition first before I use the Ten of Wands. That's what it was. Before I use the definition that's like given to me in the book, and then like use my intuition to further summarize that and give it to the to my client or whoever I'm reading for. So okay, look at this card, Ten of Wands. Immediately, if I draw this card, then I would look at it and I would say, well, it looks like this girl is carrying so much on her back and it's too heavy for her. So this might actually mean that there are a ton of burdens that this person's carrying, and they don't really feel supported, right? So that's me using my intuition first before I go into my booklet and I read the definition. Okay, before I do that. So that way, like I said, I'm using my intuition first and foremost, and then I'm going through the book, reading that definition. I actually go through like 3 different books, read what the card's all about, and then I summarize and I paraphrase and I use my intuition to kind of give it to the person. So that's basically how I've been doing readings. By looking at the picture has been extremely, extremely important for me. I think it's something that we forget to do when we're just starting out, or maybe that's just me, I don't know. So another tip that I have is practice on your friends or use Facebook groups to build confidence. There are actually a ton of tarot Facebook groups where you can just say like, I want to give out 3 readings for feedback, and people will message you and then you'll give out 3 readings, they'll give you feedback. I haven't done that yet because I've been very lucky to have been using my Instagram to get friends and people and my followers to ask me for readings, and they have been very beneficial for me. I think it's great to practice readings. so that you can like give enough reading so that you can feel confident in yourself. I think I'm at the point now, like it's like crazy. I've literally been doing this for a month, like I said, and I'm so confident in my readings because I haven't had a reading yet that has gotten a negative review. And I've read my coworkers, my teacher friends, just strangers that I don't know who follow me on Instagram, just people I don't know, not necessarily strangers. Let's see, I've read like my mom, I've read friends, I've read like so many people now, and I've only had good feedback. On the same like note of practicing on people, I want to say, but after doing a lot of like thinking and research, I did find that I think that people who are starting out, they have a tendency to give a ton of free readings, and I actually do find that if I give like 2 readings in a day or 3 readings in a day, I am exhausted, like actually tired. My energy is like gone. And it's not necessarily that I'm like taking other people's energy. It's just that like it's a lot for me to like do this. I do pick a card readings, and when I put those 3 readings together, it takes so much of my energy out. Consider getting paid for your readings. One person, I think her name is Sal, I forgot her last name, but she's like a tarot master, and I'll talk about her a little bit in a little bit. But she was saying that when you give out a free reading, it's kind of like there's an unbalance in the universe. You kind of like want something from it. So if you give a reading, there should be some sort of bartering. You can be bartering for feedback, where someone gives you feedback about the reading. You could barter for money, or you can barter for something else. Like, oh, I'll give you a reading if you, I see that you're a massage therapist, like, can I get a massage? Like, something like that. So try not to give out too many free readings, because then you'll feel burnt out. And you also want to like, you want to like cherish the gift that you have. And I think when people provide a service, they should be paid for it. So just consider that food for thought. So yes, practice on your friends or family, or join Facebook community groups to gain confidence, but just make sure that you're not giving away too many free readings. Make sure that you're getting something back from the reading. So tip number 5, the thing that I've learned, which I actually need to be doing more of, is give yourself readings to build your confidence also. I actually haven't been giving myself that many readings. My readings have mostly been for other people, but I think that there's so much that we can gain from doing tarot cards ourselves, that we are kind of just like seriously missing out on so much opportunity if we're not reading ourselves. There are so many different spreads for self-development and for manifesting your own destiny and all of that, that are really important. So reading yourself will just give you a certain amount of confidence that that you need in order to be a successful tarot reader. And what I have done, I have like so many different books now that I've read from that provide you with like spreads, and then they explain how to use them. So I think this is the book that I've found to be the most helpful for me. It's the Tarot Bible by Sarah Bartlett. There's so many spreads in here. What am I doing with my life? The problem, the suggestion, the answer. It's like relationship spreads, career spreads, everyday spreads. There's so many spreads in here. And there are, I believe, the Little Book of Tarot also has some really cool spreads. And like I said, I haven't really used them yet, but I need to start. So, like, there are some really cool spreads, like the Celtic spread, Celtic cross, the horseshoe spread, annual forecast. So many different spreads in here that are really cool. And I told you I have a lot of books. Let's see. I don't know if this one has spreads. okay, I do think this one has spreads, but it's also about like, this one's more about like magic as a whole. Like, so crystals, horoscopes, psychic spells, tarot cards. There's a lot in here, and this is a pretty good book too. This is my newest book that I just bought because I've been using the Biddy Tarot website. It's been very helpful for me. I actually just bought her tarot cards, which will be arriving at any time today. Can't wait because they're beautiful. But yeah, so like this book is actually really cool. It's called Everyday Tarot: Unlock Your Inner Wisdom and Manifest Your Future. So it tells you how to use tarot to better yourself and for your own self-development. And it says manifest the life you want with tarot as your guide. So I think this is like more so like how to help yourself with it's like a self-help book with tarot, but of course you can use a lot of the strategies that you learn in here on other people. So this is a really great book. So on the same note as give yourself readings, I would say use all the resources that you have out there in order to give yourself readings so that you can be a confident tarot reader. So these books I kind of just like skim through whenever I need something. I'm like, what kind of crystals do I need to buy at the crystal store? Which, look how many crystals I've bought. Can you see? I'll show you. I have so many pretty crystals. This wand. And they're all for different things. So like I'll look through the book and I'll say like, all right, which crystals should I buy today? And like I said, they're all for different things. This one's super pretty. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, so yeah. Give yourself readings. Make sure that you use all your resources to build confidence. Thing that I learned, tip number six, register for Udemy Courses. I know that sounds like, why do I need to take a course when I have all these books and materials out there? Me personally, I'm a visual and auditory learner, so I learn best when people are explaining something to me, and Sal Jade, SALJADE, she has a course on Udemy called, she has two courses actually. The first one is how to be a successful tarot reader. The second one is how to be psychic. I ordered both the courses. I registered for both. They were like $15 each, so there was like $30 for both. And those courses helped me so much. Like, she breaks down every single part of the tarot. She breaks down how to be protected from other people's energies, which crystals will help boost your tarot readings, how to meet your spirit guides, which kind of meditations can you do for that, what does each suit mean, what does each number mean, what is the major arcana versus the minor arcana. So many. And then in the psychic course, she talks about like, which gifts do you have? Are you clairsentient, where you feel things? Are you clairvoyant, where you see things? Clairaudient, where you hear things? Like, which clair are you? And then how do you hone in on those skills and those abilities? Her course has just been like so amazing, both of them. And they have helped me to be more confident in my readings. I'll put both courses in the description box so that you can register for them too. And then the cool thing is that afterwards you get a certificate that says that you've completed the course, which once I get my website up and running, I might just like put that on there. Like, hey, I took a course to learn more about how to do this thing. And now I feel pretty confident about it. And then another thing that's good with the Udemy courses is that both of her courses come with Facebook groups that are locked, but you have access to. And so in those courses, you're able to talk with other beginners and like post questions and post comments, or like post a 3-card spread and basically what you wrote on it, and then ask them like, what do you think about my explanation of these cards? And then they will go in and tell you, give you advice on your interpretation of the cards. So it's really cool to belong to a community Biddy Tarot also has a community, but I think hers has a monthly membership fee, so I'm not gonna do that one, especially because Sal Jade's her community is like one-time payment, and it's like so good, seriously so good. I would definitely check it out if I were you. Okay, so number 7, purchase different tarot books. Like I said, each book has something different to offer. The Tarot Bible, when I'm giving a reading, I always look through the Tarot Bible. I always look through the Mystic Mondays. This is the booklet that came with my cards. And then I always look through the little book of tarot. I look through both, actually, all 3 of them, so that and then I just pull out which information. Sometimes I just glance at them because I don't really need to really read them because of the picture and because of my intuition. But let me just show you these books. So the Tarot Bible, like I said, I freaking love because it gives you keywords, key phrases. It gives you the interpretation. It tells you if the card is in the you now position, this is most likely what it means. If the card is in the past position, this is what it means. If it's a blockage card, aka reversal card, then this is what it means. If it's a future card, then this is what it means. And I just love that so much. It just helps me to like quickly like consult my book and then give my answer to the person I'm reading. It also, like I said, so it's super detailed, and it just gives a bunch of spreads in the back too, which is like really, really cool. And then it also does have some like information of like delving deeper into numerology and astrology and crystals. It has everything you need. So this is a really good book. It's probably my most recommended. The Little Book of Tarot is just like a cool little book that I can carry with me. It has like quick definitions, but I don't mind that because, like I said, I'm mostly using my intuition anyway to give readings. So I like that, like, if I pull a page of swords, then I just get like words, keywords of what it means, and it's easy for me to just like give my interpretation based on the book. So yeah, this is a book that is not really necessary to have, but I like it. It has like a lot of resources, it has a lot of spreads, and it's small, so you can just carry this one with you everywhere you go if you're weird like me and you bring tarot cards with you places in case anyone wants one. And like I said, this one I just got. So far I really like it just because it's telling you like the modern way to like give tarot cards, and this is just a nice beginner's book. It busts some myths. It talks about the ego versus intuition and how to tell the difference, which I think is super important because sometimes when I'm giving a reading, I'm like, is this my ego talking or is this my intuition talking? Like, am I being prescriptive on the cards, or are the cards speaking for themselves? Like, so I think that's a really great thing to learn. There's a quick start guide to tarot, getting to know the cards, the basic meanings. Like I said, all the numbers and all the suits represent something, and this actually gives those meanings, which is like really, really great. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so it has a lot of spreads, tells you how to do daily readings. It tells you how to manifest your goals using different spreads. It tells you how to use the tarot for decision making. By the way, everything in this book is in that Udemy course. So, like, it's just so much easier for me to listen to the course and then just take notes that way. But I do like this book. If there's something that I like forgot, I don't need to go back to the course and like search through. I'll just read this. There are 2 different authors. This is Biddy Tarot. She created this. She has her own deck. Like I said, I purchased them. They're beautiful. I'm waiting for them though. They'll be here any second. And she has her own, Bridget Esselmont, she has her own sort of community, just like Sal Jade, but Sal Jade is just cheaper, and she's like so good at explaining everything. So I'm gonna stick with Sal Jade in her course and her Facebook groups. So there's the different tarot books that I use, trying to make sure I'm not missing any. Oh, Practical Magic. Like I said, this one is just like, if you want to get super witchy, then use that book, and just to find out about like crystals, more about horoscopes, more about all that stuff. Like I've always been interested in horoscopes, so it's really cool for me to like merge my interest in horoscopes and all of my knowledge that I already have, and then like merge that with tarot readings. I just find that to be super cool. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so number 9. I'm on number 9. Use psychic protection. You need to make sure that you are protecting your energy. When we give readings out to other people, then we have especially if you're an empath like me, or you're clairsentient, you can really take on someone else's energy. And sometimes, like, I know in the past I would just be like angry for no reason or sad for no reason, and now I realize that that's because I was not protecting my energy. Some people were super draining to me, and again, I was not protecting my energy. So there are multiple ways to protect your energy. The ways that I'm going to give you, I learned from Sal Jade's Udemy course, but I also I also just like knew some already. Like, for example, sage is a good way to protect yourself. Sage clears energy, the energy of a room, the energy of a space, the energy that you have. My mom used to use sage growing up to clear like spaces when we just moved into an apartment. So I already knew to use sage. There are also like some crystals that you can use, like this, what is this called again? I think it's a crystal wand, yeah. And you can use this to help protect your energy. There are a lot of different crystals that you can use to protect your energy. I think amethyst is one of them, which is why I actually wear an amethyst here. It provides psychic protection, but it also provides you with, it strengthens your psychic energy as well. I have a ton of amethyst here, like these, and then I have like the raw cut one, raw and smooth. Ooh, lots of amethyst. And another thing you can do, aside from like crystals, incense, so yeah, incense too, like frankincense, I believe, and like cinnamon. So crystals, I'm losing my train of thought because my dog's kicking my other dog out right here. Oh yeah, so crystals, sage, incense, and what else? Oh, essential oils, they help to clear energy. But then you can also use prayers. And so me, myself, I'm not religious at all. But I do believe that there is a higher power, whether that be the universe or a higher being. I'm very spiritual in that sense. So, I will pray, to whatever higher being this is, or the universe, and that tends to work. So there's the unity prayer, that is very helpful, and then you can also ask your angels for help too, like, okay, yeah, so like Archangel Michael, who's there to protect you, and he does a pretty good job, because every time I ask Archangel Michael to protect me from any lower beings or lower energies, I feel that the energy that I have is just my own. So yeah, there is that. Just make sure that you guys have psychic protection, otherwise you will find yourself to be exhausted or feeling all sorts of emotions that you shouldn't be feeling, because you're just like taking on other people's feelings and emotions and their energy. It's not beneficial to you. It's not a good thing. So yeah, make sure you're using psychic protection. Look up online how to use psychic protection. There's a ton of resources out there for you. Okay, let's see, what else? Okay, so yeah, debunking some myths. So number 10. Tarot cards are not evil, and they do not tell the future. This is something that I thought growing up. This is not necessarily something that I thought going into the tarot cards now, but I did grow up in a very Christian household despite never actually being Christian myself. Maybe just having like small bursts of thinking that I might be, but like that's a different topic. But yeah, so like I was always told that like being psychic is something that is like evil. It's not good. But I think that we have these gifts for a reason, and we should use them. And in giving tarot readings, we're actually using our gifts for the greater good, because we're helping people to be introspective and think about themselves and their goals and like where they're headed. This giving tarot readings for me is like super beneficial. I've always been someone who gives advice, and I think I've always been very intuitive about my advice. I remember even telling like my roommate, I'm like, dude, I know that you should do this because I'm psychic. Like I would always like joke around with my friends and say that. But having the cards and being in tune with my spirit guides and my angels, it's helped me to give even better advice and like help people, which is super cool. Like I love having the opportunity to do that. And if we're helping someone, there's no way that can be evil or there's just like we're doing good things here. And yeah, they don't tell the future. So I think that like cards can give you a good idea of where you're headed, but they're not going to tell you like, oh, in like 2023 you're going to be married. Like that's like not how you use the cards. And I like to tell people that, because sometimes people are like, oh, I want to get a reading from you, but I'm afraid. I'm like, I'm not going to like tell you the future. I'm not going to like tune into like negative energies. Like that's just not what this is about. So I just kind of like have to give people the lowdown on what exactly tarot reading is for, which I think that they're just mostly for self-development and introspection, and that tends to help people feel a little bit more safe, because I think a lot of people have like either Catholic guilt or like Christian guilt, religious guilt in general, and they don't want to do a reading. But then when they figure out like how I use this tool to give advice and help them to be reflective, then I think that they're more likely to want to get a reading from me. So yeah, just make sure that you like have the information to debunk these myths about tarot readings that people might have. You know, I'm going to add a number 11 here because I forgot something really important. So, number 11. Oracle cards. I went on Amazon and I just kind of like looked at all the oracle cards and I purchased which ones spoke to me. And these two spoke to me the most. These oracle cards are amazing. A lot of the times oracle cards, they have like, here, let me show you the Moonology one. They just have like small short sayings on them. This one says, full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo, you are good enough. I know I got that one, and I know that's something that my angels and spirit guides have been telling me for a long time, but that one's really difficult for me. So yeah, you can use oracle cards to get better insight and into what your spirit guides and what your angels want you to know. So I think that's what oracle decks are made for. They're kind of just to like to get these messages from your angels and from spirit guides, like think whatever they want you to know. So you can do use oracle cards and do a 3-card format just like a tarot deck. You can do past, present, future with these cards, or you can use them how I use them. And I just kind of I give a 3-card tarot reading, and then I pull out an oracle card to like kind of just like, I feel like oracle cards are always positive and there's always like consolation, so they provide consolation. So I always give an oracle card at the end of a 3-card reading, just to like help them get an answer from their angels and their spirit guides. So these oracle cards, they have like one word on them. So this one says like hope, this one says triumph, fulfillment of wishes. You can also do a 3-card spread with these cards, but obviously you're using a lot more of your intuition when you're using these cards, because they do only have like 1 or 2 words. There is a book, but I don't really use the book when I use oracle cards. I feel like oracle cards are like, they shouldn't have, like, you shouldn't have to like read the meanings in these cards. I think these are like a conversation that you're having with someone else's spirit guides and angels, or your own spiritual guides and angels. And I think that like, or at least in my case, I generally just know what the card means based on the 1 or 2 readings, 1 or 2 words that it says. The cool thing about this book, this deck, the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, is that it actually follows the tarot deck. So 0 is new beginnings. It actually like is tied together with the Fool. As you can see, she's like walking on earth and she's ready for a new adventure. This is just like the Fool. And then 1 is like the Magician. It's awareness, but this card very much mirrors the Magician. 2 represents, I think, is it the High Priestess? Is that number 2? Yeah, the High Priestess, 2. Intuition, right? So these cards actually follow the tarot deck, the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. So these you can actually use in a 3-card pull, or a classic as a classic tarot cards as well. Oh, I can't talk. My dogs are so distracting. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you can use as a 3-card pull as well. So yeah, use oracle cards. They will help you to just connect more with the spirits and with your guides and your angels, and they're really, really, really helpful. Okay, so I hope that this has been helpful for you. The last thing that I'm going to do in this video is an unboxing, which I tend to like to do because I apparently buy too much stuff. I really, really do, but I'm getting so much into this, and I'm really happy. I feel like I'm in the right place right now. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. I was like always so afraid to tune into my psychic energy or my psychic abilities, just because I know that I'm clairvoyant. I've seen spirits in the past, and I don't know, that just like always scared me. So I was like, if I tap into it, then I'm gonna see spirits and blah blah blah. I don't know. Even though I like love horror movies, I'm like the biggest horror buff and all that. I don't know, it just always scared me. Just my past experiences, which maybe I'll make another video later and explain all of my past experiences with the other side. But yeah, so now I'm like, I just feel like this is what I've needed to do for a really long time, like tap into my psychic energy, my psychic abilities. Okay, so Tamed Wild. Tamed Wild has a subscription box for people who like all things witchy, and so I got one, and I haven't looked at it yet, so let's see if I'm gonna let you know if it's worth it, if I think it's worth it, or if I'll keep purchasing it. So the first thing I'm seeing are 2 cards. The first card tells about the story of Luth, the sun god. Okay, so this is like talking about the history of Lunasad. I don't know. I'll read this later. An offering for Lu. So I'm not entirely sure what that means or who that is, but I will once I read this card. Okay, so it says the kit includes calendula blossoms to decorate my altar, an apothecary bottle. After incubating the calendula blossoms in a mason jar for 1 month or moon cycle, you will strain the herbs, add honey, and store the finished elixir in this apothecary bottle. So the calendula blossoms. During the summer months, we decorate our altar with warm colors that mimic seasonal flowers and freshly harvested wheat. Calendula blossoms, or English marigolds, are some of the most beloved flowers within the daisy family. Historically, they were arranged throughout the house as an offering to solar deities, or placed on the graves of deceased ones to illuminate the path into the afterlife. Making an elixir with calendula blossoms is a powerful potion that garners attention from Lu and the sacred energy of Lugnasad. As a plant remedy, these flowers often offer a welcome boost to our immune system. They carry antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal properties. So I guess that you're making an elixir with the calendula blossoms into the apothecary bottle. It comes with a honey stick that you put in there, and then it comes with a pipette for the apothecary jar. Since and then it comes with desert rose, a form of selenite. It should come as no surprise that it strengthens our inner knowing and acts as a guide when navigating tricky situations. It reinforces our commitment to the goals we set for ourselves and generates a level of focus that produces the best possible outcome. For this ritual, surround the calendula elixir with these crystals to raise its frequency. So there are desert rose crystals? Yeah, selenite's a crystal. So there are crystals in here. There's an altar cloth that I think is beautiful. I already saw that one online. And then there's the card that gives the history. So I know that I love all things witchy, but I don't know how much I'll get into elixirs and all that stuff. I don't know if I'll actually use this, but let's take a look. Interesting. Okay, so I will 110% be using this altar cloth. It feels really nice and it's beautiful. This is one of my favorite colors. This is such a beautiful cloth. I will definitely be using this. Here's the honey stick for the elixir. Here's the elixir bottle. Here's the calendula, the herb that I will put into the elixir bottle. Here's the pipette for the bottle so that I can close it. This little drop, what is it called again? I forgot. Anyway, this is probably for the elixir bottle. And then it comes with this cute little sticker. And then it comes with the selenite. Oh, interesting. This is so interesting. It's a grounding stone. It is said to be useful for past life recall and deep meditation. Use desert rose to regain the wisdom of the ancients and to bring forth that which has been weighing you down. So these are actually really cool. This is something that I'm super into. Stones. It's really for grounding and for just setting up my altar, which I think is super cool. But like I said, I'm not sure that I'm super into elixirs, so I don't know if I'll be purchasing this again. Maybe I'll do next month too, just to see what the box looks like and then decide from there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. This ended up being way longer than I thought, but I hope that I was able to give you all of the tips that I've learned and that you can use these tips to help you to become a more confident tarot reader. I will be posting weekly videos, whether that be a pick a card reading or something else that I'd like to share that I've learned from the tarot readings. my channel apparently is becoming a tarot channel, but I'll also still be posting my ukulele videos and my fashion videos, maybe like OOTDs or something like that. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, one more thing. I am available for personal readings. I have given so many now that I feel very confident, as I said, in providing them to you. You can email me at anastastiakahn@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram at Anastasia Khan, and I will answer any questions that you have about anything that I said today, or provide you with a tarot reading. I am so sorry if you're hearing all the background noise. Sounds like my roommates are in the kitchen. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week.